Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome to day 3 of How to Become a Health Magnet. Today, we're going to look further into ways in which we can create healthy changes. So yesterday, we explored the ways in which you might be sabotaging or affecting your own health. And I asked you to come up with 2 small changes that you can make to encourage better bodily health for yourself. I hope that you managed to do this, and if you didn't at the time when you were doing the activity, I hope some ideas came to you later. Today, I'd like to share some ways in which change can really be for the better in terms of your overall health and well-being. So let me explain this further. The energy centre in the body that works with our ability to become more aware of ourselves and to be more accepting of change is the sacral chakra. Now, this is the second energy centre and it's located just below the navel. The colour associated with the sacral chakra is a bright and vibrant orange. The sacral chakra is often described as a flower that has 6 petals, and these petals symbolise its secret connection with the high 6th state of consciousness, the one that we're all evolving towards. So when the sacral chakra is clear and open, it produces the radiance we need to unite in a bond of love with another soul. So it's all about intimacy and connection. And it also fuels our growth towards enlightenment. So this chakra is all about assimilating sexual expression, nourishment, and pleasure in all aspects of our lives, as well as ideas and creativity. It's about enjoyment and awareness of what's going on right now in this moment. And for you to enjoy a pleasurable lifestyle, you need to embrace whatever change is necessary. The sacral chakra is associated with our belief that we deserve to enjoy life. So it's not about excess, but rather achieving fulfillment. About seeing the benefits in whatever life offers us rather than the disadvantages. It's the knowledge that life is all about shades of light and dark, rough and smooth, and the contentment to accept all of these things, as gifts for growth. Today I'm going to share a beautiful guided meditation with you to cleanse, clear and open your sacral chakra. And first I'd like to share some ideas regarding changes that you can make into your own life, because that's what the sacral chakra is all about. And one of these changes that I'd like to discuss today is all about sleep. So sleep, we spend a lot of hours doing that, hopefully. And for thousands of years, people would get up when the sun came up and go to sleep when it went down. But it's different now. We live different lives and, that's perfectly okay. But we should ideally be getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night. And the very best way to enjoy the most wonderful sleep is to go to bed at the same time and wake up at the same time every day. So the whole mind and body is affected when we don't sleep enough or we have a poor sleep routine. And lots of studies have been done, and I'm sure that you've heard or read some of the outcomes of these, that people who sleep less than 7 hours can often suffer poor health conditions, and that this can affect us in terms of what they call, or psychologists call, optimism bias. So this is about believing that we're going to be okay no matter what reckless things we do. So sometimes it can be a positive thing to be overly optimistic, but it can be things like optimism biases, perhaps a smoker who believes, I will never get any kind of illness from smoking. I'll be the one who doesn't get affected by that. Or I can do really crazy, reckless things with money and I'll always get money coming back in. It's that kind of belief. And so apparently we can become more optimistic in a biased way if we get less than 7 hours sleep. We also have less willpower, and it's been proven that we are less likely to resist tempting foods when we've only had a few hours sleep. And it can also exacerbate chronic health conditions such as sleep disorders, obesity, diabetes, depression, bipolar disorder, and seasonal affective disorder. So the body has what's known as circadian rhythms, where our body goes through different stages of the blood pressure, body temperature, of our ability to relax. And so I'm sharing an image with you here of what those circadian rhythms look like. And this is the sleep-wake cycles, the hormone release, eating habits, and any other really important bodily functions. So you can see that having or giving the body the opportunity to work with its own natural rhythms will make you healthier. And so much research has been done on this, and it really is true. So a good night's sleep is just as important as healthy diet and regular exercise. And it could actually help you lose weight and just generally make you so much healthier in every way. So when we enjoy good sleep, it helps us to eat less. It gives us more energy to exercise and move our bodies and to just generally feel healthier. So here are some ways that will help you sleep better at night. And what I encourage you to do today is to commit to making at least 2 changes in these areas. So I'll go through these and then you can choose which ones you'd like to adopt or to encourage as change as part of your daily routine or your evening routine. So the first way to sleep better at night is to increase bright light exposure during the day. Now, when I read about this myself, I was just having a massive aha moment because I work from home a lot and I do go out to work in an office 2 days a week, and there is no natural light coming into that office. So I'd be going to work in the dark, I'd be coming home in the dark, and I didn't actually go outside. So your body has a natural timekeeping clock with a circadian rhythm, and so the natural sunlight or bright light during the day helps the circadian rhythm remain healthy, and it improves daytime energy, giving you better nighttime sleep quality and duration. So people who had insomnia, when they were exposed to 2 hours of bright light every day, it actually improved their sleep quality and duration and reduced the time it took them to fall asleep by 83%. So that's a massive shift. We also, as we get older, we stop producing as much melatonin, the hormone that allows us to drift off to sleep blissfully and to remain asleep. So that's a sleepiness drug almost in our body. And so as we get older, I've found this myself, having reached my 50th year, I'm wanting to sleep less and less. I'm finding it harder to laze around in bed and to sleep longer because I'm not producing as much melatonin. So a study was done in older adults and it found that 2 hours of bright light exposure during the day increased the amount of sleep by 2 hours and sleep efficiency by 80%. This stuff's real. And it is important to get that sunlight exposure. And if you can't get it, there are bright light devices or bulbs that you can install that have the same effect. So daily sunlight or artificial bright light improves sleep quality and duration. So give it a try and try and ensure that you are actually outdoors for 2 hours or sitting by a window or that you have an artificial bright light. So in the same way that light during the day is beneficial for us, nighttime light exposure has the opposite effect. So a lot of us are exposed to blue light, particularly in the evening. So what is blue light? Blue light is the light that comes from electronic devices like smartphones, computers, tablets, and television sets. And so this also has an effect on our circadian rhythm. So if we're watching blue light or we're looking at blue light devices in the evening, it's going to trick our brain into thinking it's still daytime. And so that reduces our melatonin production that helps us to relax and get a deep sleep. So one of the things that you can do is to download apps to reduce the blue light on your computer, your laptop, your screens, on your phones, etc. You can stop watching TV and turn off any bright lights 2 hours before heading to bed. Now, one of the things that I have introduced into my own sleep routine is to have a salt lamp, which is a very dim bulb inside it, and they're very, very low cost, these salt lamps, and they are available very widely, replacing that instead of my bedside lamp. And I have that on, and I will be in my bedroom 2 hours before I actually go to sleep. I've stopped watching television in bed before I go to sleep. And then the salt lamp is light enough for me to be able to read a book or to just sit and relax in my bedroom. The other thing is to do meditation before you go to sleep, which is, I've been sharing these meditations with you over the course of this Health Magnet program, and hopefully you'll have your favourites. But meditating before sleep, even if you fall asleep while meditating, is perfectly okay because it's still having a positive effect on your mind and your body. Okay, so don't consume caffeine late in the day. So caffeine is consumed by 90% of the population around the world, and single doses of it are really good for focus, energy, and higher performance, if you're doing anything where you need to move your body. But when we consume it late in the day, this caffeine stimulates the nervous system and can stop our body from relaxing. So consuming caffeine, in one study it showed that up to 6 hours before you sleep, it significantly worsens sleep quality, because caffeine can stay in your blood for 6 to 8 hours. So if you're drinking caffeine after 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, then you are likely to experience trouble sleeping. So if you need to drink coffee, if it really is something that you want to do, or you drink, energy drinks, then try and get a decaffeinated version of whatever it is that you take. Or one of the things that I train myself to do also is to switch. If I need a hot drink in the afternoon, I switch it for hot water. It might sound really bizarre, but it works because it's the same feeling of having the cup in your hand and just drinking something, and it's actually very purifying. So try to ensure that you don't consume any caffeine in your body up to 6 hours before bedtime. Another way to encourage better sleep is to relax and clear your mind. So having a pre-sleep routine is something that is going to be so helpful to you. You may wish to take a bath or a shower. You may wish to read something that is very soothing and do relaxation techniques, a relaxing massage, or listening to music, meditating, deep breathing, or visualization. One of the things that I can really highly recommend is to take your phone, your smartphone, your iPhone or tablets out of the bedroom. It's very tempting to read social media posts before you go to sleep or check emails. Now, what if somebody posted something that was a bit disturbing or annoying, antagonizing before you go off to sleep? That's the last thing that you're remembering. It's going to affect your dreams. It's going to affect your thoughts. I used to have a habit of watching political newsnight programs or watching the news before I went to sleep. Such a bad thing, because the news is usually really dark and really quite troubling, disturbing. It makes us go off to sleep believing the world is a bad, unsafe place. And so it's really important to manage the stress. And I'm not saying switch off completely to all of the bad things in life. We have to take the rough with the smooth, right? That's part of the sacral chakra. But we also all need to nurture ourselves and to create this cocoon of safety. Just as we did when we were children going off to sleep, we'd have a beautiful bedtime story. So it's important to make sure that you are comforted as you sleep in order to prepare yourself for that 7 or 8 hours of blissful time for you and your body to rejuvenate itself and to work on anything that's going on in your body to repair itself. So this is all about seeing yourself, how you do things, and to be the sleep person that you want to be. So what I'd like to ask you to do is to take a few moments to think about the things that we've discussed here and what are the ways in which you commit to changing your sleep routine in order to give yourself the very optimum amount of hours of sleep and the very best chance to sleep as restfully, peacefully and deeply as you can. So write down those things that you commit to do and begin them today. Some of them, if you have to go out and buy a light bulb or if you have to make the time to go outdoors, even if you spend an extra 5 minutes in the light, natural light, it's 5 more minutes than you were doing. So don't try and beat yourself up that you're not doing certain things. Make these small changes that will grow into bigger changes that will have a really big impact on your health and well-being. And beautiful soul, you so deserve that.